Data warehousing projects are a complex undertaking with a fail rate between 30 to 60%. The main factors of unsuccessful implementations are weak sponsorship and management support, insufficient funding, inadequate user involvement, and organizational politics. There are 7 implementation factors that contribute to a successful project. Management support, which is a widespread sponsorship across the management team. The champion, a person which actively supports and promotes the project. Resources, money, time, and people required to successfully implement. User participation, when users are assigned tasks during implementation. Team skills, the technical and interpersonal abilities within the data warehousing team. Source systems, quality of the source systems that provide the data. Development technology, effective hardware, software, methods, and programs. Implementation factors feed the implementation success. Implementation success means the project team has persuaded the organization to accept data warehousing, completed the warehouse according to plan, and overcame technical obstacles that arose. Implementation success affects system success, and system success contributes to the quality of the data warehouse system and its data. A data warehouse with good data quality and system quality improves the way data is provided to decision support applications and decision makers. Perceived net benefit addresses various stakeholders. It gives users a better understanding of the decision context, increased decision-making productivity, and changes how people perform tasks.
The core paper talked about different ways in which organizations can realize value from big data, while the discussion paper talked more about how an organization can successfully implement a data warehouse. Through discussion, we saw that connections can be seen between the two papers on all 3 levels from the main paper. Once a data warehouse is implemented, the structure is harder to change. This means that the choices made during the implementation process are critical. We see different choices to be made on all 3 levels: work practice, organizational, and super-organizational. These can influence the way an organization should design their data warehouse structure. Within these 3 levels, there are 6 discussion points on how to realize big data value. A few as an example. The decisions to have a controlled or closed structure clearly has a great impact on the criteria for a data warehouse architecture. Or the decisions to have a centralized or decentralized organizational model. So who needs to be able to work with the data from the data warehouse? Or to what degree do you want to take into account the ethical and privacy perspectives? Or the type of insights that an organization wants to realize also influences the type of data input that is needed. In other words, from which systems, internally and externally, do we need to integrate data into the data warehouse, which is a decision at the supra-organizational level. These decisions need to be made first and then can help to make justified decisions in the deciding process of the data warehouse. Converted into the 7 implementation factors of a successful data warehouse from the discussion paper.
To elaborate on the different connections between the 2 papers, I would like to give another example of choices to be made in the model of the core paper that influence the way an organization implements their data warehouse. For instance, does an organization wish to either innovate radically or improve their current business model, which is a decision on the organizational level? One could argue that if the goal is to improve the current business, it is better to implement the data warehouse and its data integration with the decision-making and analysis tools more enterprise-wide, to enable the business people close to the key processes in the organization to come to valuable insights and improvement through more deductive analysis. Well, if an organization wants to come to insights that can feed radical product or service innovation, You might need a centralized and more advanced data science department with very skilled data analysts that can come to insights from which they didn't know, inductively looking for unknown patterns. But then you might have the risk that a group of data analysts in a centralized department is not able to translate the current and most important business needs into their analysis and results, because centralized capability structures may not connect very well to the business units and make it difficult to convert their insights into value. We believe that this communication between IT and business is the key to realizing optimal value from these expensive data warehouse projects. And therefore, we would like to propose the following statement. Data warehouses should be designed to facilitate decentralized multidisciplinary teams combining IT and business on the work practice level to realize maximal value from the data warehouse. We are curious to hear what you think about this. We look forward to see you in class, and thank you for listening.